continue to draw my bow for King Edward. The nagging doubt that sometimes woke me in the night was that King Edward had not completed his task in Scotland. After Dunbar would have been the time to complete his conquest of that land. He had taken the Stone of Scone, but the vast majority of Scotland was still without the iron grip of English-manned castles. Had King Edward made a rare mistake? Chapter 1. It might have been winter, and the ground might have been bone hard, but that did not stop my men and me from training and honing our martial skills. My son had recently married, but he left his warm bed each day to come to the butts and to practice. His wife's brothers, James and John, while too small yet to draw a war bow, had shorter ones, and my archers patiently showed them how to string them. They taught them how to place their fingers and how to pull. Lords who did not use a bow could never understand the complexities of archery. John and James would become archers, but it would not take place overnight. Unlike me when I had been the same age, my son Hamo also practiced with a sword. All my archers could use a sword, and that marked us as different, that and the fact that we all rode to war. I hoped that Hamo would become as skilled as I was with a sword. An archer's strength, allied with a good sword, made for a powerful weapon. When we had captured horses, and being as successful as we were, meant we captured horses more frequently than most, we did not sell them, but kept them for us to ride to war. It made us the fastest archers in England. We rode to war and reached any battlefield well before other archers. My men were proud of this distinction, and we rode every day. I no longer enjoyed riding, but I joined my men every day to endure the saddle that, although well oiled by Jack of Malton, still irritated me beyond belief. Jack was an orphan who had come to us because he had been bullied by the son of a knight whom I had considered a friend. Sir John had been the Lord Edward's squire, and we had travelled to the land of the Mongols on a quest for King Edward, when he had been but heir to the throne. It had been the harsh treatment of Jack that had resulted in two things. One was the end of our friendship, and the other was that my son and I took Jack under our wing and brought him to Yarpole to be raised as a sort of stepson to Mary and me. He had a good frame, and he began training as an archer, but he was also eager to help, and I used him as a squire. He was not, of course. He did not have to wait at tables as other squires did. There were no lessons in French or dancing. He did not have to learn to play the rote, and was not forced to learn of chivalry and honour. I had learned that they were like the fine clothes that some lords affected when they presented themselves at court. They were for show, and did not make their wearers any nobler. Jack learned skills from men like me, archers. I knew why I was so fond of Jack. He was the same age as Richard, my dead son, would have been. Taken not by war, but some disease for which the leeches could find no cure, he was a loss and a hole in our life. When Jack came to live with us, he seemed to fill the void that the death of my youngest child had caused. I had surrounded myself with the best of archers. When we travelled, I was always looking for men with the right frame and the marks of a good archer. A truly great archer had a slightly misshapen body. His right side was stronger than his left, but even his left side would be far stronger than any normal man. Morduff, Gwillem, Dick, and Ralph the Fletcher were all men who had served me for a long time. Most were married and had boys whom they were training to be archers. William of Ware and his brother Edward were two archers who had fallen on hard times, but they now followed my banner. I had many such archers, and they all farmed in the manors of Yarpole and Luston in the Welsh marches. It made my home as secure as any castle, for as much as I was honoured by the king, I was still unable to make my home a castle. The anarchy and the wars between Matilda and Stephen had made English kings suspicious of any knight who wished to build a new castle. I had done the next best thing and built high